The naturopath from New Zealand. Thanks for coming back. The question I get asked regularly is, why do you put grapefruit seed extract in your CanXida Remove? Or another question is, I can't tolerate it. I'm allergic to it. Another question is, I get sick if I take your CanXida Remove. What's wrong with it? Is there a problem with the product? Well, it's probably like buying a high-powered handgun, okay? Now, most people aren't used to using a high caliber handgun, all right? They're used to using a 9mm. Now, I'm not qualified to talk about this because I've never even held onto a handgun, let alone fire one. I've got no idea how they work. I've used plastic guns. I like them, the little cap guns and stuff, but I've heard they're a big caliber and they're a small caliber. Now, small caliber 9mm is what most CanXida supplements are when you buy them online through iHerb or through Amazon or places. These are just 9mm. They're pea shooters, okay? CanXida Remove is a 45 caliber. It's a big bore, okay? It's a powerful product. There's no doubt about it. Now, if you get a person who's used to a 9mm and you give them the 45, they're going to be swearing at you because they're going to go pop and probably hit themselves in the head with it. They might shoot their neighbor accidentally or their dog. They'll make a hell of a mess, all right? They're not really trained in how to use a powerful weapon, all right? If you look at law enforcement, these guys know how to use guns, okay? Pum pum. I shouldn't talk about guns, it's bad, but I'm just trying to point out the difference between low power and high power. Same with a sports car, okay? With some experience, you'll find that the high power is a far better tool to use than the low power. But many people then will go on and blame the gun, saying the manufacturer made a mistake. The barrel's bent, it's shooting weird, or what's wrong with this gun? Why are these bullets so big? So you get all these questions around the power. Now, Remove is no different. It's a powerful product. People are quick to point the finger at the clove in it, or they're quick to point the finger at, say the grapefruit seed extract or another ingredient. So in this case, when you get a seriously powerful reaction from a product like CanXida Remove, there are two things you need to think about. A, how much did you take? And B, you took this product, but were you qualified to take it? Meaning, what was your gut like? Do you have a lot of yeast there? Do you have a lot of bacteria? Are you taking far too much product in for that load that you've got, that bio load? All right. I've had patients who would, off the bat, take 4 or 6 CanXida Remove tablets per day, and even those with a bad stool report. And then, of course, within several days, you'd get an email saying, OMG, I feel like I'm dying. Well, that's no different from spending a whole day with the Desert Eagle handgun in an Arizona desert and then complaining you got a sore shoulder, okay? You're not going to do that kind of stuff, all right? With intelligence, you're not going to do it. You're going to think about it. You may take one pop with that gun and then put it away, and then maybe following week take 2 pops with it, but you're not going to be putting 100 rounds through it on the first day. You're going to have a very sore hand and arm, all right? Now, Remove's no different. You don't want to be taking 6, 8, or 10 tablets in the first week, all right? So when people react, it's nearly always not because of the grapefruit seed extract in it. It's because they've overstepped the mark. They've taken too much. Now, you're saying, you're wrong, man. I only took 1 tablet. Well, that could be too much for you, all right? You may need to start with half a tablet. This is why I always liked people who came to see me who were very sick or unwell, is to test first, all right? No different from taking you to the shooting range and saying, okay, let's see how you go with this 50 caliber or whatever it is. And most people who say they can fire it no problem, they hold the thing up and they take a shot, and it was nothing like they expected, okay? It was a lot wilder and more savage and more brutal. Now, Remove's no different. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm trying to caution you that if you've got a very sick gut, you need to be careful how you start off with a powerful product, all right? So you may want to break the tablet in half and start with half a tablet. I've had patients cut the tablet in 4 pieces and start with a quarter of a tablet. Okay, walking, slowly walking faster, and eventually a trot and then running. And before you know it, you're doing marathons. And it's the same with CanXida Remove. You start slowly and you gradually build it up. And after a week or 2, you can take 2 tablets a day. Now, that's happened in hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of cases that we've worked with in our clinic, where people couldn't run They had to walk very slowly for the first few weeks even before they could run. Now in those cases, many of these people were highly allergic to Candida Remove, or they couldn't tolerate it. It was making them sick, or they were getting nauseous. But these were the people taking 1 to 2 or 3 tablets per day for the first week, when again, they weren't qualified to take those 3, if you get what I'm saying. Okay, they should have started at a lower rate. So when in doubt, always start low, because you can always go up. It's much easier to go up than it is to come down, all right? Because once you've had a bad aggravation, it could scare you, or you could become anxious, and then that might put you right off, just like with that handgun. But it shouldn't, because with a little bit of skill and understanding and experience, you could probably handle any kind of firearm. And it's the same with the CanXida products, all right? Not a problem. So the question is, I'm allergic to grapefruit seed extract. What should I do? You should start at a slow dose, all right? Because I've yet to meet people with allergies so significant to grapefruit seed that they couldn't tolerate even quarter of a tablet. They may exist out there, but it might be 1 in 500,000, you know? So remember, what people say is maybe not necessarily what they're experiencing. It may not be an allergy at all. It's called a reaction. And the reaction occurs because of the dysbiosis, we call SIBO today, or because of a bad yeast problem or a parasite. And this is the most common scenario. And remember, common things happen to people commonly. So I hope that gives you a bit of an insight into the power of CanXida Remove. Don't be scared. It's a fantastic product. When used carefully, it's going to do you a lot of good. But when you're aggressive with the treatment and think you can take out a bowel problem within a week, it's not going to happen. Thanks for tuning in.